Okay, in this lesson we're going to look at the first Cheongibeop of Hankido, and Cheongibeop are part of a wider part of the Hankido curriculum, and it's called Hwansangdobeop. Hwansangdobeop are what in many other martial arts are like forms or maybe like shadow boxing. So what you're doing, you're performing a technique on your own. Hwansang means imaginary or fantasy, so you're kind of imagining, oh, I'm doing a technique, and this gives you the chance to focus on those things that are sometimes hard, like when somebody's grabbing your wrist and maybe pulling you, and then, oh, you know, I have to lower my balance, use my hips, stuff like that, can be quite challenging. So by doing this on your own, and you've got like no outside things that take you away from this, so like, oh, someone's pulling me, I want to do this. No, it's not there right now. So you've got the chance to relax for yourself and focus on those things that are important. So then the Hwansangdobeop, there's two parts. There's Cheongibeop. Cheongibeop are the techniques that I do as a defender, so someone grabs me and then I'm performing the technique. And there's also Cheongibeop. The Cheongibeop is not required for the in the advanced module yet, and that is where I am the person who's grabbing and then gets thrown. But in this lesson, we will only look at Cheongibeop 1 till 6 as required for the advanced module, and there will be another lesson where we will look at Cheongibeop 7 till 12. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with Cheongibeop, of course. It's the first technique. So I'm putting my hand forward like this, or what many people prefer is start high, then breathe in and out and lower themselves. And this already gives, like I have to root myself, sink, get into a little bit wide stance, not too wide, not too deep, not too much outside. Don't have your feet pointing out, but feet forward. Here, sink in this. So breathe in through your nose. And when you go out through your mouth. Relax your shoulders, lower your elbow. Okay. The most important thing that we're going to do this time is use our hips. So imagine you're being grabbed and you want to move. And instead of just doing everything with my hand, now somebody grabs me, I'm moving him away, my hand goes over, grabbing the other person, and now I'm applying the lock. And now I bring my left hand forward. Okay, so moving him away with my hips, going to the other side, grabbing and leading my opponent, and pushing out, applying the lock. As you can probably see, the technique is a little bit like still eyes. It's not like, oh, I'm grabbing and one exactly like this and all the way, and this, no, I'm trying to focus on certain principles. And the main principle we're focusing on now is using the hips. So what I usually tell my students, I'm looking at the knot of your belt. If the knot of your belt does not move, you're doing something wrong. Now I want to see it go from right to left to right again, and then to the middle. And we apply breathing to the technique. The most basic way to breathe, also the most common way, is 8 counts in, 8 counts out. But at the beginning you can start with 4 counts in, 4 counts out. So I'm starting here, breathe in, out. Technique hasn't started yet, starts now, so now it's 4 counts in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still breathing in, and now out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left hand forward. Hana. 둘. 셋. 넷. 5. 6. 일곱, 여덟. One more time. Go. Left hand. So this is number one, Cheongibeop. Next one, Cheongibeop. As you know, Cheongibeop is with a strike. So right hand high, breathe in, out. Move your hips. One, grab, two, grab, turn, elbow strike. Left hand, now, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟. One more time, 하나, 둘, left, 하나, 둘, number three, 하나, 둘, with number three, what I usually tell my students is focus on the other side of the technique. It's also true for number two. So I'm going to demonstrate it with number two first and then with number three. With number two, we usually think, oh, someone's grabbing me. Up, I'm breaking his arm, and then I'm applying the elbow to his face. So then what we see, like people pay no attention to this hand as well. It's like one, two. So there's like a lot of emphasis here and there. And that kind of like unbalances the technique. So we don't want unbalancement, we want to have balance. So what I tell them at number two, you grab and really like make a strong pull. And when you pull, hey look, this arm automatically follows. So pull. Now grab here, pull. If I pull strong, one, the rest automatically follows. Of course, now there's the danger is that I get like one, two, is that I shift the balance all the way to the other side, which we should not do. But just for your feeling, okay, like pull here, pull, pull, and of course, now you have to combine it both. So, and instead of like putting like a lot of emphasis here and a lot of there, no, what you want is both sides, relax, relax. So you should say soft. Shoulders low, and if you want your shoulders low, lower your elbows. So with number three, starting here, up, breathe in, out, one, so, usually people are like, okay, one, two, but try. So instead of your focusing here, one, this hand, one, shift, here, so the pull here, and that hand follows. And of course, then you want to get your and yang combined together, make balance. So breathe in, out, and relax. No. Left hand. Number four, Cheongibeop. Starts out as number 2. 1. Applying the lock and throwing my broom away. Left hand. One more time. Left. So we take small circle, big circle. Starting here, 1. This is my small circle. This is my big circle. So small circle, big circle. Next one, Cheongibeop. Starts out as number 1. Hana. There. Okay, so I think number 1, if we take the 4 count, if this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 4 counts, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 4 counts, then in number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is faster now than it is in number 1. So let's look at it again. Breathe in. Out. Let's look at one detail, and I'm telling you now, but then when you look at number 1 and 3, yeah, you have to remember this detail as well. Starting. What we don't want here is just one hand to move, and this one has to go there as well. No, when this one is here, that one should be there as well. How I do this, when I move this direction here, so my hand follows, but now when I go there, this hand kind of like drops, 1 into circle, and then here they meet. So one more time. Hana, 2, set, dead, so both hands during the technique should be active, which is true for every technique. So if you take a number 2 technique, not 1, 2, oh, this hand has to follow, no. 1, 2, 3, they are both active. Another rule, which we'll soon see, is not true always. Usually the technique starts, one hand closed, one hand open. And during the technique, that kind of like changes. So when I'm starting, fist, open hand, 1. This one now drops and opens, while this one becomes a fist, and this one becomes a fist, and that one opens, and in case of number 5, fist, open. So it's like an open and a closed hand changing all the time. A rule of thumb, but there are a few small exceptions. So let's look at number 5 one more time. Oh, starting out in the wrong direction. Come on. Set. Nip. Tassa. Left one. Come on. Set. Nip. Tassa. Okay, number 6, Cheongibeop. It is the wave technique, I sometimes call it. So what we really want here is to see a wave. So let's see how we can do that. Right hand forward, Hana. Both hands go up, and now here comes your wave. 2, 3. And immediately you see how I'm breaking my own rules about a closed fist and open hand. Number 6, hands are open, both. I'm starting here, so 1, 2, 3. Left hand, hana, okay, and of course, by now you should know, like when I told you both hands are active, both feet are active as well. So not 1, 2, and then drag this leg, but we want 1, 2, active feet. 1, 2, active feet. So these are the first 6 Cheongibeop, Kwanjeolgibeop, Chigibeop, Sipjagibeop, Newegibeop, Cheongibeop, and Mukamabeop. I've shown them now all separately. What we usually want is for you to practice them all in a row. So I'm going to demonstrate them one more time, 1 till 6. What I'm going to do with my right hand, I'm going to do the number 1 techniques, or the odd techniques, and then with my left hand, the even techniques. But usually we do right hand number 1, left hand number 1, and then we continue in 2. And then the change in between the techniques, so like let's say I finish number 1, I'll finish number, okay. And now let's start number 2, notice like doing number 1, hand forward, and continue into number 2. So we want to make 1 till 6 in this case, 1 continuous motion. So let's start. So these are Cheongibeop 1 till 6. One more important thing I want to tell is breathing. So the regular breathing is in through your nose, to your stomach, and then out. What you do, when you just stand and just do the breathing, you can also practice the breathing sitting down. When you breathe in, you put your tongue up against the roof of your mouth. And you try to make really out the breath, like the oxygen goes in, all the way back, and then fills your stomach. Of course, there's no real air going into your stomach, it's just your lungs. But if I focus just on lung breathing, and just, I want to try to fill my lungs, usually what you get is like, the shoulder goes up, you get like a lot of tension, and actually, I'm quite soon out of breath. I cannot really fill my lungs completely. When I focus pushing it down into my stomach, you get like a much longer, much fuller breath. So out. So I really want you, when you breathe in, to feel how all the oxygen goes even into the lower parts of your lungs. And then when I breathe out, I'm kind of like pushing my stomach, like pushing it out. When you make a Geop, it's the same thing, like breathe in, and then out. So then it's like, my teacher explained, it's like you're filling this balloon, and this balloon gets suddenly like squashed, and bam, everything comes out. That's with Geop. Now in this exercise, it's just a very regular long breathing, so you breathe in through your nose. Yeah, so put your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Really fill those lungs and out. And we want it to be circular breathing, so there's no breathing and then, oh, I've got my breath now, and then out. No, it's in and out, and it flows out. So your breathing should be circular, like a continuous process, no stopping there. Okay. In the next lesson, we'll look at the 12 Hankido techniques, but then as defense against punch, and then the lesson after that, we'll look at Cheongibeop 7 till 12. Okay, so on to the next lesson.